I would like to welcome all of you on behalf of Arbab-e-Qalam Canada. Arbab-e-Qalam Canada is a literary organization which is working in the GTA since around 2020, but it is actually part of, it's an extension of an old organization that was founded in Pakistan in 1967, Arbab-e-Qalam Pakistan. Here we have been organizing different events. So you have heard of Five Guys, right? It's a burger shop, right? So we are Five Guys, Arbab-e-Qalam Pakistan. So we have Dr. Shamim Azhar in the back, who you saw when you were doing the sign up, and we have Junaid Akhtar, Anwar Kazmi Saab, myself, and Sikandar Abul Khair, who is not here today. And then we have so many of our friends who are helping us so much. Tariq Bhai, Wakhar Bhai, so many. Sorry, I'm not naming everyone, but we have been getting help for all of you. So thank you so much, everybody who came here to listen to the young writers and poets, all those who helped bring them here, all those who pursued them, and especially those poets and writers who are here to participate to read them. Before we start, I want to also remind whoever is going to read today, if you haven't registered, please go and register. Professional Audit Saab is there, and if you have done, that's fine. So Arbab-e-Qalam has been organizing different literary events, and those include, most of those were based on dialogue, literary dialogues. But we always try to engage our youth in those events also. So one dialogue we had here was between the English and Urdu poets. So the topic was this. So this is the second program we are doing in Ajax, in the Ajax Library. Actually, our chief guest was Patrick Mead, who is a very good poet here. He is here to encourage the young poets and writers here. Mostly we did dialogue. We only did three proper reading events under Arbab-e-Qalam, and third one is that we are actually not doing for ourselves, we are doing it for the youth. So the reason is we want this thing not to be limited to us who are just middle-aged or older. We want those young fellows who have the capability, who have the capacity and who have the talent, who can write and who do write. And I know actually most of you write, I know. Those who don't come up, we know that most of them write something in some way. Sometimes they don't tell anyone, whether it's kind of a diary or whatever. So it is very, very important that writing is very important. I mean, people who are not properly writers, they also sometimes write, and if they don't, they should. You don't have to be a writer to write. And writing a diary is one of those things. So why is it important? It's because expression is a cure for many problems, and it helps you think better. If you write it, you can think better. If you write it, you analyze what you're writing and you analyze what you're thinking, and it's very, very important for everybody, not for just somebody who calls himself or herself a writer. So, the thing is, we want our young boys and girls to not only do the writing but also come and read it out and express it and tell us what they think. Okay. This event by far was the most difficult event to organize for us, not in terms of logistics, not in terms of snacks or tea or the place, but in terms of bringing those who have to participate. Because probably it was because of the age difference, because of the generation gap. So we tried to send out the invitation, the flyers to everywhere, Facebook, here and there, to different organizations, but it was difficult. And I understand it's because probably we have different social circles of different age groups. So maybe we were not able to reach those social circles in the way we should have. So we are learning, we are improving, and we will improve, and we will need your help. We will need the help from all those young fellows who are here. You can tell us what we can do better. So today we have people from different cultural backgrounds, but it could have been wider. We could have attracted youth from more diverse backgrounds. So we have, I think we are predominantly, we have South Asian background, people from South Asian background who are participating. So there was one suggestion from Waqar Bhai. He said maybe because of your name, Arbab-e-Qalam. Right? So maybe it's something that doesn't catch the eye of everyone. So maybe we will think about what we can do to make sure that the young fellows from all different backgrounds come look at it and see it as it is for them, and they come to us. Maybe also because the schools were off, and that's why we were not able to reach many young kids. So of course we are always open to suggestions. Let us know how we can attract people from even non-South Asian background that we were not able to do this time, but next time we will, inshallah, we'll do it. Okay. So before we start, I want to tell you how we are going to do it. So we have a few participants here. We are limiting the reading time for everyone to 5 minutes. So you will have 5 minutes in which you can read as many things as you want. When you reach around 4 minutes, we will show you, you can show that. So Pari Babri, he has this card. He will show you the yellow card, and then when it's 5 minutes, he will show the red card. Okay. Right. That means the time is up. Right. So
what about after that?
After that, I will have to say something in the mic.
No, the lights.
Yeah, turn on the lights.
Yeah.
I will come here, stand up, and start eating samosa. So before I start, I just want to, and I was talking about the importance of writing. Right? So I want to read a few lines from D.B. Shelley, who was a great poet of his time. And he talks about it. He said just a small portion of that. His poem is Hymn to Intellectual Beauty. He says, "The awful shadow of some unseen power floats, though unseen among us, visiting the various world with as inconstant wing as summer winds that creep from flower to flower." So this is something, if you think about it, you will realize how connected it is to all of us. So let's start. And the way we will do it is we will, of course, most of the participants are new. So we will try to first call the youngest ones, maybe alphabetically, if possible, and then we will move forward to the older ones. So don't think that, oh, I'm too young, or don't think that, oh, I'm too old for this crowd. That's not the case. And by the way, you have to be young at heart, right? We have a few who are young at heart, but we are not letting them read today. So we'll start with the first participant today. Is Alishba Khan, who is 12 years of age, lives in Ajax, and she is in grade, I cannot believe you are in 18. Grade 8? Okay, sorry. Alright, so there was a typo. So grade 8. So Alishba Khan, please.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Alishba Khan and I am turning 13 soon. I like writing scary stories. This story is about a girl who made a dinner and her family dies after eating it. Let's find out why. The dinner. My hands were dripping with sweat. It was cold, but it burned on my skin. It was a gloomy December night. I remember every detail perfectly. The memory is pinned to the back of my head. It follows me everywhere I go. I will never forget. My entire family lay lifeless in front of me. The dining room window was open, and the wind was heavy and suffocating. A day before, I found myself walking down a dark alleyway. I had no clue where I was walking or where I was going, but I kept moving. I spotted a strange box. Every gut in my body was telling me to turn around and go back, but my curiosity took over and I took a few steps forward. The dead leaves of maple trees were crunching beneath my feet. My hands were trembling as I slowly opened the box. I saw a tiny black figure crawling on the side of the box. I quickly stepped away, tripping on a rock. I fell hard on the ground, scraping my hands against the rough pavement. I slowly got up and peeked inside the box. I saw a weird doll with jet black hair, X's as eyes, a tattered dress, and worn out shoes. It looked like she hadn't been used well. I touched her and suddenly a sharp pain fled through my body. I tried to let go, but I couldn't. I screamed in pain, trying to rip the doll out of my hands. I picked up a sharp rock from the ground and started shredding the doll into pieces. Finally, I got rid of it and ran home as fast as I could. I eventually made it to my doorstep. The last thing I wanted was for my mom to be bombarding me with questions about all my blood, scrapes, and scratches. Without saying anything to my parents, I sprinted upstairs to my room. Our family would be coming soon for dinner. I took a shower, brushed my hair, and put on my black silk dress with red rose embroidery on it. I ran downstairs and started working on the chicken roast. Everyone who ate my food said I was gifted. I chopped some vegetables, marinated the chicken, and put it in the oven for 20 minutes. Later, I garnished it with onions, peppers, and a splash of lemon juice and set it in the middle of the table. The doorbell rang and we greeted all the guests with hugs and kisses. Everyone was starving, including me. The smell of chicken thighs and spices filled my nose and lungs. We finally sat down for dinner. Everyone dived into the chicken. Everyone was excited because my cooking was known for being delicious. I didn't boast or brag, but I felt so proud. "This is heavenly," my grandmother had said. "Wow, it's amazing," my aunts and uncles commented. "Save us more," my cousins had exclaimed. Suddenly, everyone started choking and spitting and holding their necks, gasping for breath. Everyone except me. I didn't know what to do. I just froze in my seat, watching everyone struggling for their life. All of the plates were falling off the table, shattering to millions of pieces. The water in the jugs were splashing everywhere, as I watched each and every one of my family members die in their seats one by one. I don't know what went wrong, but then I realized it was the dinner I made. And I remembered the doll. It was all because I touched the doll. I'm not gifted, I'm cursed.
So the next participant is Arbab, who is 13, lives in Ajax, and is in grade 9. Arbab.
My name is Arbab, and my poem is called Little Optimist. I kind of miss being young. I am excited for the future, but I'm also nervous. When I was younger, this was not the case. When I was younger, I had this laugh. It was pretty infectious. It was also pure and genuine, like my happiness, which was ever so consistent. I do miss being able to not overthink most of the time, to just be able to be and not worry about every little thing that crosses my mind. But that's just part of growing up. The realizing that the world around me is not as positive or hopeful or exciting as I was. I wish the world matched the energy I contained as a little kid, as we all contained. I wish I could be who my younger self imagined when she thought of her future self. I don't want to lose the kid I was, but because if she saw me right now, she'd turn around and run. I wish I could go back, but we must keep moving forward. There's something truly beautiful about a child's innocence. We don't see it all. Perhaps it was better that way. And all beauty must be nurtured, protected, and celebrated. It should not be taken advantage of. Alas, one of the advantages of growing up is the expansion of knowledge. And with that comes knowledge of a powerful force that is negativity. It expands into the depths of our minds and blinds us from the beauty and positivity of our youth. This is an inevitable process. But does this mean that the beauty is lost? Absolutely not. It can be rediscovered and nurtured and protected and celebrated. Because we have to celebrate life, from the beginning of youth to the ends of wise age. Hey kid, little optimist, naive younger me, I just wanted you to know that we may not look the same, talk the same, act the same, feel the same, but I'm still there and so are you. And I still do miss being young. I still do miss having less things to worry about. I still do miss the memories. I still do miss being excited for my birthday every year. I'd wake up with joy painted across my day my entire year, every year until the brush finally dried. But what I think I really miss is the beauty. So I'm going to find it again. And when I do, it will bring a smile to my face, hopefully followed by some laughter, the pretty infectious kind, pure and genuine.
Thank you. Very good. So we are just getting a few more cheers. Alright, so the next participant is Amina Tariq. Everybody is reading quite short. We didn't even have to bring up the yellow card. Right? Okay. And by the way, in 5 minutes, if you have more than one, you can read more than one too. So that's not a problem. Okay, so, and if, let's say if you have more than one and you have read only once and we have time, and you can tell us and we can give you more time afterwards. Alright, so the next participant is Abina Munivanan, age 14, age X, and she's in grade 9. Abina.
Hi, my name is Abina. This is Saul's obedient servants. It was a night. The sky's darkened canvas echoed throughout the streets with rows and rows of perfectly placed homes and the chaotic patterns of the trees surrounding the perfect built by the sun. The night was in pain. It screamed through the perfect cities, countries, built with the ruler-type cities. The cities that were ruled by rulers and disguised by the people. Saul ruled these cities. The night screamed in pain, loud enough for the people's ears to bleed out, but the people below were used to it. This was the normal. They wiped their blood off, whispered sweet nothingness to their children, and went on with their days, praising Saul for allowing them to continue being servants of the system of decay, and ignoring the night who begs of them to rest. The people stayed up throughout night's cycle, ignoring their last-ditch efforts to save the people from being Saul's obedient servants. The people who cursed out night, who ignored her calls and cries, who couldn't save night from Saul's wrath every cycle. The people who actively dropped to one knee in front of Saul, the sun, the master of all, would kill the night if it meant having a drop of her blood, for her blood spilt meant more time to be Saul's obedient servants. Night tries to protect the people. She has to keep giving the people more time to be immortals, even when they ignore her and taunt her and kill her, because that's her job, to protect the people from Saul, because the people were her people once. Before the sun took her people to be Saul's obedient servants, the people were Night's people, and Night's people were immortal. When they died, they didn't come back. Even still, when Night's people were immortal, Night loved them. Night gave them her time to be immortal, to rest. The people weren't created to be Saul's obedient servants, but Saul was too bright to see beyond her greed, and she stole Night's people to become Saul's obedient servants. This is the way it has to be, she told Night's people, and the people agreed. How could they not? They were given the light of 1,000 stars and told they could have it if they became Saul's obedient servants. But then it was too late for Night, and when she came back to collect her people, does this work? When they came to collect her people back, they ignored Night. Down to the straight lines and rows, each path perfectly calculated by Saul. Night comes back, cycle after cycle, to ask her children to come back home. The children who grew up too fast, who fell too far, who won't listen to their mother anymore, won't come back home. Night's children want to kill her, and Night can't do anything about it except ask them to come back home, because they're not Night's children anymore. The children are Saul's obedient servants now, with ears that bleed and hearts full of hate. Night screamed into the abyss again, begging her children to come back home. Again, Saul's obedient servants ignored her.
And one thing I want to also remind everyone is, like I said, we keep doing these kind of events, different kind of events, of course. So if you want to always receive the announcement for the next event, please do sign up. Again, Dr. Shamil in the back. So he has a list where you can put your name and phone number. So we send out the flyer on WhatsApp. And by the way, our next event is going to be a mushaira. Of course, that will be Urdu mushaira, but it's going to be in Ajax. Okay, so the next participant is Fawaz Sayyed, age 17, from Whitby, and he is doing nuclear engineering from Ontario Tech. Fawaz.
Hello everyone, my name is Fawaz. As he said, I'm doing nuclear engineering. It's my first year at Ontario Tech. I decided to write a poem that highlights the events that are unfolding in Palestine and Gaza. So I request you guys please pay attention for a couple minutes. The Wi-Fi is on, playlist cycling through. Alcaraz is rising, Federer's legacy in view. Messi's latest move, viral on every screen, while the kids in Gaza learn to live between the unseen. We watch highlight reels of games that are won and lost. Scroll past news where the real lives barely cost. 200 journalists are gone, their stories are left untold. Blocked feeds, muted voices, and the silence is very cold. The Olympics show grace under lots of pressure, while others dodge bullets and bombs without the referees measure. Colombia's quiet shift, a subtle change in tone. Vinny stops to mourn a world unknown. We debate on TikTok, news bites fast and brief. Yet few pause for hunger and the grief underneath. Not a game, no reset, no pause, or no rewind. Just lives unraveling that are lost in the grind. Not calling for anger, not asking for fights. Just for space to hold the truths and lights. To see beyond streams and viral trends. To hear the voices that the silent bends. Thank you.
The next participant is going quite fast actually, much faster than I expected. So you can take your time, read it slowly, no worries. And
do it slow.
Yeah. Yeah. So we have time. There's no hurry. So the next participant, Obed, who is 17, from the city of Toronto and is in grade 12. Obed.
Hello everybody, my name is Obed. I'm currently in grade 12. I'm reading an excerpt from my book named, sorry, one second, just these pages, this is a lot of stuff. From the book, The Hope Within. And this is chapter 1 of the excerpt from it. So the title of chapter 1 is Unmasking the Invisible, the Reality of Silent Battles. Nearly 1 in 5 young adults experience symptoms of depression or anxiety. Yet many suffer in silence, masked by smiles and carefully curated social media posts. The pressure can appear successful and happy and can feel achievements can feel successful moments. While personal achievements and joyful moments, struggles remain hidden behind closed doors. This concealment doesn't quiet the pain, it deepens it, making the burden heavier and harder to bear. Understanding these silent battles unfold is essential to breaking down the walls. That's okay, I can read it from here. Read your phone. Let's go. The silent battles unfold is essential to breaking down these walls that keep so many isolated and unseen. The hidden hidden epidemic among young adults. This pressure, comparisons, and concealed pain on a typical day. A college student sits hunched over on their phone, scrolling through streams and perfectly lit photos. Posted peers and influencers, the beach vacations and the classy celebrations, line up beside workouts, many happy couples, and honor ceremonies. Each swipe tugs at insecurities, whispering that everyone else is more attractive, successful, and fulfilled, the student.
Another page, you got another page.
Yeah.
You're doing a good job.
Surrounded, the images only show highlights and triumphs, begins to question their own worth and accomplishments. Underneath the visual buzz, doubts grow quietly, making it hard for the student to see the doubting reality behind the screens.
Okay, so the next participant we have is Shajil Khan, age 17, from Ajax, and is in grade 11.
I'm Shajil Khan, I'm 17 years old, and my poem's name is Just Like a Dangling Carrot. Time runs faster than you think, slipping through our hands just like sand we can't hold. We spend our days in yesterday or waiting for tomorrow, and forget the present is all we really have. Dreams sit in front of us, shiny and bright, like lights in the distance. We wait for the perfect moment, but that never comes. The longer we stand still, the further they seem to go. Life doesn't pause for us. The clock keeps moving. Whether we're ready or not, each day is a page turning. Whether we write on it or leave it empty, fear holds us back, like weights on our feet. While our goals float above us, just out of reach, if we don't try now, they'll drift too far away. So maybe now is the time, before it's too late. Because dreams don't wait forever. They dangle in front of us just like a carrot. Close enough to touch, but gone if we don't move. Thank you very much.
So also before we move forward, I also want to acknowledge Hundred Spot, who from where we have all these snacks today. Although they didn't sponsor us, but they actually did support us by giving us discounts. So I wanted to acknowledge that. And there are some menus, from them, so you can take them with you and see if you want to eat something from there. All right. The next participant we have is, I don't know him. So that's, he knows about more. So the next participant is Raman Beg, age 17, from the city of Ajax. He's in grade 12.
My name is Raman Beg. I'm in grade 12 and I'm 17 years old. So today I want to recite a poem that I wrote. A bit of context, it's about how we're all one people, but we've been separated because of countries and borders, and then because of that we fight each other, and then we don't unite. And you'll see what I mean when you consider this with the fact of what's happening around the world these days and how we're not able to do anything about it because of the loss of unity between us. So, it doesn't have a name. I forgot to give it a name. I was writing the poem and I forgot. But I'll start. Our planet is one big piece, a cog, united they say. But it feels like we've been cut up, like a loaf of bread, being put through the machine. Still neighboring one another, yet not aligned together. My slice is the best they say, but they all look the same, don't they? The bird that falls out of its nest sees reflections on every branch. But the bird that was afraid to fly only sees competition and burns inside. Does the grass's color obey these boundaries when the one above only set one line? Why do beasts etch these lines with pencils so sharp that we wear them on our heart. When nature disagrees, why did they burn the rules? Does the grass's color not look the same over there? Does the water not gush the same over there? When man saw the world, he saw it on paper, with lines sketched by beasts. But God sent down one line, even the animals know. When the river talks to the rocks, it talks about his journeys. Never once does it mention of pens guiding its way. When God sent down his line, the line wasn't seen on that paper, the paper that man deems his world. No, the divine line is seen by the one who looks up from his page and sees the journey the river took. The world wonders what happened to God's line, the line that was sent down to man. And to that I tell you, the beast etched streaks on that line, and they all marvel at their own loaf of bread.
We have is Aisha Mirza, age 18, from the city of Toronto, and she is in life sciences in the University of Toronto. Aisha.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. So my name is Aisha. I'm currently in my first year at the University of Toronto Scarborough. I have two pieces to share today. The first one is a kind of a memoir, non-fiction, sort of about this journey that I've been going through this summer leading up to university. The second one is a poem. So I'll start with the first one. It's titled Learning in the Ordinary. So, any big plans for the summer? It was a question everyone asked as graduation approached. My answer always felt like a letdown. Well, I've got my cousin's wedding in Toronto, I'd say, and I meant it, because it was a family highlight I'd been looking forward to. But I'd quickly follow it with, and just, driving school and not much else. You see, I had already started to downgrade my summer before anyone else could. Because could a week in a lecture hall compare to a fancy internship? Could driving school on the same old streets really compete with a summer touring in Europe? The answer, I thought, was a no. So many of my peers could already drive, while others took no interest in it, so it wasn't a big deal. But that one sunny morning, when I sat in the driver's seat of my instructor's Corolla, I felt a sense of adventurism, practicing right and left turns in an empty parking lot. I may not have been touring canals in Venice, but I was touring the edges of my own capability. Sure, there were some times when I confused the brake and the gas, got on the curb as I backed out, and just couldn't get the angle right when parallel parking. But it taught me that progress isn't a straight line. It's more of a jerky stop-start journey where you sometimes have to roll backwards to move forward. And when I wasn't practicing my three-point turns, I was trading my driver's seat for a lecture hall chair at a one-week summer institute. Our mission? To tackle a public health case study and present our solutions in groups. As someone new to the field, I was nervous my knowledge wouldn't be up to par. At least I went in with the knowledge that I had my major all figured out, and this was just an opportunity to learn something slightly different. But the mock debates, the presentations, the conversations with experts, they started reshaping my perspective. I realized I didn't just want to understand the science behind health, but also understand the people it affected. And though our presentation didn't come in first place, out of 12 groups, we were in second, runner-up. That meant our work was impactful. It caught the judges' eyes. And more importantly, it gave me confidence to speak in front of people. And so 2 weeks later came the wedding. I gave a speech. We played board games until 3 a.m. We built a mountain of inside jokes and laughter with family who had flown in from across borders. For a few weeks, we weren't making memories for a resume or a job interview. We were just making memories. We're often taught to value the things we accomplish. But this summer, the most important things I did weren't just accomplishments. There were moments of being there, showing up for a celebration and showing up to support a friend in a quiet, painful silence when she suffered a loss. That taught me more about who I want to be than any cool job ever could. And so, if you ask me what I did this summer, I didn't backpack across Europe or work at a renowned research facility. To anyone else, my summer might have looked simple, uneventful, perhaps even a little ordinary. But to me, it was the exact opposite. An ideal foundation for adulthood and post-secondary. Yes, those big impactful experiences are important, but my experiences equipped me with a different, just as useful toolkit. I gained confidence in my decision-making behind the steering wheel, spoke with certainty in a classroom that surprised me, and showed strength and compassion when supporting someone. What may seem like small, unplanned moments are the experiences that truly shape the person you want to be. Thank you. Second, just a quick little poem. I wrote it back in grade 10. It was, I'm sure some of you may remember about the tragedy that happened in London with the Afzal family. So it's called Reversed Roles, in remembrance of the Afzal family tragedy. The innocence of a child, pleasant, mild, holds shy yet brave smiles that embrace the earth. With curious eyes and hair slightly wild, blindly playing without knowing its worth. Sweet to his ears is the call to prayer, a youthful Muslim, eager and proud to honor his family's vast culture. Days of cricket, shalwars, and pan to chew. Yet marred is a life that, at a time, shone. A hateful man makes his choice in a truck. A sharp swerve. Mom, dad, sister, grandma, gone. In one collision, the child lost all luck. Why are we called the terror in their place, while they are guiltless in whichever space? Thank you.
Is Sreya Sayed, Sreya Sayed, 24, from Mississauga. She is in University of Toronto. Sreya Sayed.
So nice to see all of you here. I'm Shreya. I'm doing my master's at University of Toronto. And I came to know about this program from Zora Zubairi. I know her as Zizi. I met her at a writing club that I used to run in high school. And since then, she's been inspiring me to write and be true to who I am. And still today, I think about the mentorship that she provided me. Today, I'm actually sharing a poem that I wrote in high school. So ever since I was a child, I have been quite shy. And my parents would tell me that if you don't reach out to people, you'd regret this when you're older. So as a teenager, I did not get it. But I used to listen to her and I'd think, would I really? So I wrote a poem in grade 10, like thinking about what my mom's thinking. And it's called Tale as Old as Time. Ghosts and nothing more. Blurry figures in black and white photos. Sitting here with you, a tall drink of water filled with ice, yet to be broken. So I tell you a story, the only kind I know, of ghosts and nothing more. On vivid memories falls a curtain of fog. Rocking chair, empty mug with coffee stains, the excruciating pain of missing someone coming alive with the smell of rain. It doesn't wash away. The stealth brain wonders if that is what fails its synapses to connect, closing all that is to be felt. Rust cripples my brow, and my knuckles clench only to wipe away tears that are long gone. Senses wither with age, ages of wrong choices. But how do they matter if fate had already been written and dried by the heat of the stars that drew the pen? Books lie open, with no one to decipher lines once marked. Visions obscured, glasses webbed with spider nets, strangling words that were once well stitched to the tongue. Words that can be said anymore, words that can be heard anymore, words that can only be felt, but what remains embedded into the brittle sheets close to nothingness. And when everything is gone but a void, that is still with silence, apocalyptic with consequences of being lost for too long. You finally see then, the house from a distance, the one with the twinkling light beneath the shadows, a wisp of hollow smoke will give off the chimney. Like the solar-facing scream you can hear from monks painting. That's when you will finally look. Ghosts and nothing more. Blurry figures in black and white photos. One day, that's all I will be. And then, perhaps then, we'll meet with renewed intentions, pretenses giving into long withheld conversation. And we'll think back to this day, sitting here with this tall drink of water, overflowing with ice, finally melted. Thank you.
And Shreya mentioned about Zora Zubairi, Zizi. She is very much involved in working with the youth, and she brought two young girls here to participate in our event. So I'm so happy and so thankful to her. She is one of those who are, I say, young at heart, but we couldn't have her read it today. Okay. Are you reading? If someone else just joined and they want to read and they haven't listed, then let me know. Yeah. All right. So I will go a little bit off the list and the sequence, just because I think we have to leave early. But after reading, don't leave right away. Just wait for 1 minute. I will do an announcement and then. So next is our Abbas Jafri, who is. Let me give you a little bit of background of Abbas Jafri. Also, he used to read poems of other poets, especially in religious settings, if I am not wrong. And he's a nephew of very famous Urdu poet who just passed away a few months ago. Very dear to all of us. So I would like to invite Abbas. He's from Markham, and he's working for Zahra Trust charity to do their fundraising. So Abbas, next. Thank you.
Hello everybody. First of all, before I begin, I just want to thank the entire Arbab-e-Qalam team for giving me this opportunity. These poetry slams, open mics don't happen a lot, so I'm very happy to do that and be part of this event. Secondly, I want to personally thank Faisal Bhai for considering me a youth, even though with all this gray hair on my head and my beard. It's very kind of him to think me as young at heart and young in age, apparently. Just before I begin my piece, just a little bit of background of what it's about. As we know, there are poets here that know this a lot better than I do, and I don't even consider myself a poet. I write feelings on pieces of paper, as we all do. But before we write anything, we always need some sort of inspiration to write. That's the basis of everything that we write. Now that could come from someone we love, something that catches our eye, or even an event that happens in our life. Whether that is through a happy event or sometimes a tragic event. And unfortunately, not to kind of break the mood of the event, but unfortunately on October the 29th of 2023, I had experienced a very tragic event by losing my brother very suddenly. And a couple of months later, there was an event that was held in his honor, a tribute event for one of the groups that I'm a part of called the Poets of the Household. And that group had asked me to write something in his honor. And as difficult as that was, I had agreed. So I want to share that piece with you today. It's a very near and dear piece to my heart. It's titled, A Brother's Eulogy, Celebrating a Life of Faith and Impact. Heavier than your coffin is the pen that I lifted to lighten this heavy heart packed with words, ensuring they are placed correctly. For you were the servant of he who was the peak of eloquence and the emblem of justice. You had a way with words, which would pull at the heartstrings and tie them to yours to create an unbreakable bond. For when the world would grab us in its evil grip, make us feel lost, sometimes hysterical, we would turn to you as your words have the combination to open the locks to make miracles. You made impossible concepts feel normal, like feeling opposites are the same. You had mentioned two things can be true at the same time. How? You mentioned you can be uneasy and grateful. You can have anxiety and faith. You can be doubtful and God-centric. You can be okay with not being okay, all at the same time. Now as your brother, allow me to add a few more lines. Even in your life and death, you made opposites attract. For you stood taller when you bowed your head. You were a lion with a roar that was sweet. With just a whisper, a mountain of sincerity would crumble at your feet. Your booming voice attracted, not repelled. You gave life to religion until your last breath. Your ominous presence filled hearts with love. You awoke in so many lives through your death. Yes, you did make opposites attract, because I am alive without a soul, for you took mine with you. As I feel heavy and empty at the same time, I grew 10 years in the one day I lost you. When I see you smiling in a picture, why does my heart break? It's because I'm still feeling the aftershock of this eternal earthquake. I wanted reality to be a nightmare. Wake up from this feeling. And if I had known the last time I spoke to you was the last time, I would still be speaking. And when you would walk into the masjid with your cloak, the environment went to 100 from 0. Even though people saw you as a scholar, I saw my superhero. I would be lost and bewildered, and your cloak sheltered me from this world's grief. With you gone now, who will protect me from this feeling of disbelief? But our connection was strong because of one man. See, when Dad died, to eradicate our pain, we would look in one direction, and that was towards Hussein. Our love for him is what brought us together. But the love you took to an immeasurable size. My eyesight was blurry, but we all saw clearly when you put the tears of Hussein in our eyes. Karbala is the only way we know how to get through this. It's our blessing. So when I asked God, I would put that wound on top of my wound to get solace and seek patience through Sayyid al-Sajjad. So you are not just a brother, but a best friend. You are successful in your mission and made religion a fact. Acceptance of you being gone will never be here. But I love you, and no, there is no opposite of that. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. So, I want to make a couple of announcements. First, this is to all the young guys here. Girls means guys and girls, of course. So, we are thinking that this shouldn't be a one-time event that we are having today. And we don't want to be the ones always going after you and annoying you to come here and do it. But we want you to be part of us and leading part of what we are doing, helping us and giving us suggestions. We part of we want you to be the leaders. So we want you to be to lead part of our activities of Arbab-e-Qalam, which is the youth event, for example. So every one of you who or if you didn't participate, or if you have other friends who are not here, but they would like to be part of this kind of activity, come to us, let us know. We can help, we can work together. We can have a youth, and I will discuss this in detail with our team. So this is a session for you to. So we can maybe have a youth wing or youth part of it, and you guys will be the one leading it, and we will be always there to help you, and you will, we'll be together. We'll have the next event and the next event and the next event and so on. So before you leave, every one of you who would like to be part of that, please let us know. Let Dr. Shahin Azhar know, so we can be in touch with you, and we can see how we can plan it together going forward. Do you want to say something? I saw you were doing something like that, no?
But there's another author for me.
Sorry?
Xenia.
Yeah. We haven't done yet. We are not done yet. Yeah, we haven't finished. So that was one announcement. And the second announcement is, before we go to the next participant, the next announcement is that on October 5th, there is going to be an event in Ajax, which is, it's organized by the Durham Muslim women of Durham Region, in partnership with the city, and it's going to be a very good event which has a lot of things, including a segment which is going to be for the young writers and poets, right? And we would like to invite whoever participated here. We would like to invite you to that event too. So let us know if you can make it. We would love to have you there, and present your work over there. So again, before you leave, please, even if you don't do it today, make sure to message me, let me know. So two things. One, for the October 5th event, if you want to participate, let us know. We will be very happy. Second, going forward, if you could be part of the Arbab-e-Qalam youth events, let us know, and we can see how we can get your help and your suggestion, and how we can add value to it. Okay, so these were the two announcements. All right. Now we'll move forward to the next participant. Raza? Sorry, Abbas Raza, who is here 13, he's from Markham, and he's in grade 9, so I would like to invite Abbas. Please come and present your portrait.
This is my first time ever publicly speaking. The poem I'm going to be presenting is about my experience with healthcare. My poem's name is Health for All. It is time to stop. Stop ignoring the countless hospitals being overflowed. They groan under the pressure. But at least the healthcare is free, right? Crack. Is that your wallet breaking out here? No longer covered, it's time to pay up. You've fallen into the bottomless pit of medical bills. The sick can't get a doctor. They're left to their misery like a pauper. The broken can't get a token of help. The long lines are full of the ones who need help the most. But alas, the system is too greedy to host. So it is time to open our eyes, because choosing ignorance is easy. And most of you will choose that when you go home. But what about those who do not have that luxury and are reminded of it every second of their waking lives? They are the ones that are on their beds for weeks. They are the ones that are weak. They are the ones that are hoping to get back up eventually. So it is time to see the injustices that are buried underneath, and it's time to speak. Speak to get rid of this fiend who lets them rot for 1,000 years, leading them to their untimely, savable death. That's it.
Is the last in our list, but after that we will have some more words, and so make sure you don't leave after that. We will have some words from some experts, some poets who are here, who are listening to you, and we will like to hear from them what they think of what they heard today. So the next participant is Zinia Jamshed, 36. She's from Mississauga and is in public service. Zinia.
Seeing him as I'm the last person before the end of the event, which it looks like we should stay for a little bit after. I'll try and keep this quick. My name is Zinia Jamshed Qureshi. I'm a public servant. I work for the government of Canada. But 15 years ago, I came here as a new immigrant, as an international student, and my experience was so varied that I wrote a book about it. So I'm going to read you a excerpt from my book, which covers what life looks like for an international student, what are the pitfalls, what are the culture shocks like, so I hope that
Can you tell the title, please?
Yes.
And where we can get this book?
The book is called From Doodh Patti to Coffee, The International Student's Guide to Culture Shock and Life in Canada. And it's available at the University of Toronto, at the University of Waterloo, and at Amazon.
How much is this?
I believe it's $15.
Can you show the title again?
Yes, right here.
Hold on.
My original title was From Doodh Patti to Double Double. Tim Hortons didn't let me use it. They officially own that word, Double Double. Just so you know. I'm going to just read a little excerpt.
Tell me,
yes.
did you do it again?
Yeah, sure.
I couldn't get it. Blue chutney. Thank you.
I feel like a little celebrity here. Thank you for the attention.
You are.
All right, so I'm just going to read, I think this is one I talk about a class that I took, so I'll start from there. All of a sudden, the class has started. The pitter-patter of 1,000 laptop keys reverberated across the enormous dark room like rain cascading down porch steps. It was magical and intimidating. I'd inherited my father's old laptop. It weighed 15 pounds and took 7 minutes to turn on. I almost never took it out of my room. Plus, my typing speed paralleled a puppy with a new toy. There was no way I could compete with my classmates, who were all North American. Yet I settled in, took one determined look at the slide in front of me and started scribbling my notes away. I will never forget that class, trying to keep up with the pace of slides, striding to decipher the professor's foreign accent, and particularly the ridiculous amount of time it took to exit the hall. I had underestimated how many students Convocation Hall could hold, over 1,700 at any given lecture. My first semester was a blurried frenzy. I had a full course load, which meant I had classes and tutorials every day. 6 weeks into classes, I was ready to take on my first round of midterms and essays. The weeks rolled by, but in the most pleasant way. I had never experienced fall in my life like I did in Toronto that year. The trees turned from green to yellow to orange and finally red in the most beautiful and poetic way. Any time I didn't spend in the classroom or at the library, I devoted to the benches at Queen's Park, taking pictures from my age-old phone and writing long emails to my parents, gushing over the natural wonders of the land that I was in. They too had never seen such a variety of color. I was so overwhelmed by the experience, both in the classroom and outside, that I ignored the actual craft of learning. In an attempt to make sure I was buying my international experience at wholesale quantities, I made some pretty obvious errors. For example, in both semesters, I scheduled loan tutorials at 8 a.m. on a Friday morning. I also planned all my group studies 6 days a week. As a result, I was almost always asleep in my morning sessions and late to my group studies. Yet, I also like to think that these are merely some lessons that someone learns when living unsupervised and without accountability. It is always better to learn how effectively you can study in your first year by yourself. What I struggled most with, however, was getting accustomed to speaking English full-time. I often slipped colloquially into Urdu words, only in conversations, only to realize when the person I was talking to looked at me with the most dumbfounded expression. English is not my first language, and my brain wasn't used to operating in a second language all day, every day. It felt like constant mechanics. Finding the right words to translate how I felt, or stringing the right combination of adjectives and verbs to form together a cohesive sentence felt like a chore in those first 2 months. Sometimes during lectures, I would zone out as my brain tried to catch up with the professor was talking about. I often complained to my mother that my mouth was tired from speaking English all the time. There was no other way to describe it. The culture shock continued to grow, but I drank in it nonetheless. International students, we stand out. On the outside, we sound, look, and dress differently. On the inside, we are constantly trying to hush that feeling of what is happening I mentioned earlier. I discovered that blending is a skill that needs to be learned, just like any of the courses that I was taking. And in order to avoid sticking out, I needed to start to assimilate fast. This is a process and a method to this kind of young assimilation. And this is a concept that was as foreign to me as poutine and beaver tail. I think I'll stop there.
So if you want to continue. Maybe the last one, so we have time if you want.
There is a recipe from my father's doodh patti here. That's something I would drink all the time. Karak chai, yes, yes, yes.
One of my friends, he started this Sattar Bakhsh.
Yes, I do know of that one.
But
You know, I would say all the students here are lucky. They have access to great, Yemeni coffee. That's a great, that didn't exist when I was in university. Ridgeway was just a plot of land. So I would say the students are a lot more lucky now than I was then. The only thing that I had access to was chai tea,
yeah,
unfortunately.
Starbucks actually gave him a very tough time, so they have to close down this brand.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Well, as someone who's had to deal with Tim Hortons, I had to change the title of my book. It's not easy, so power to him. Power to him. I felt like a patriot and a traitor held together only by a lukewarm perception of certainty. I would often think to myself, this would all pay off, right? I was home, yet home alone, a person whose name on classes, textbooks, and travel documents confirmed she was in the right place, but didn't feel an ounce of belonging. And so, between the conflicting emotions of belonging, not belonging, and foreign terms, what on earth is a Zamboni? I had to learn the conventions of Canadian social life as well as I could. I was always early to the party and late to pick up trends. I didn't drink, I didn't do any of the recreational drugs that my classmates did, but I did understand why everyone snickered when I incorrectly pronounced certain words such as vegetables. South Asians only have one alphabet for both V's and W's, so you can understand the confusion. Developing a thick skin became an occupational hazard for an international student. You're out of sync with the times and the culture, and you try ridiculously hard to make that awkwardness go away in as little time as possible. This is an attention you don't want, one that has you wanting to skip any party you are invited to, because you will stand out in a crowd, and no one will want to talk to you. No one wants to feel this way, and as an outsider, you want to be a part of it so bad, because you are literally paying an arm and leg to be it. Talk and dress like the cool kids. Be interesting enough to be the cool kids come talk to you. It's a constant balancing act, and I was almost ashamed that I wanted to buy it wholesale. I'll stop there.
It was great listening to all those who recited their poems or prose today. Next, what we want to do is, or we would like to do is, we want to hear something from some of our writers and poets who are here. And also before that, I want to say to all the participants, we have some poets here, some poets and writers here. You and I'll just name them. And if let's say if you want to get some feedback, you want to know how to improve things, you can talk to them. I'm pretty sure they will be very happy to give you feedback. We have, for example, let me start naming of whoever I see from. So Salman Atar, we have Sara Ali, we have Rafi Mustafa, we have Zora Zubairi, and we have Obed, and we have Patrick Mead, and we have Munir Sami, and Junaid Akhtar and Dr. Shamim Azhar. So we have so many of them here, right? They are novelists, they are poets, they are prose writers of different types. So if you want to learn, they will be very happy to give you advice if you want. Okay. And I said earlier about the next event is going to be a mushaira. That will be Urdu mushaira, of course, but still I would be happy if you come. And even if people who can understand Urdu, even if you don't write Urdu, if you come and you listen to it, it will help you enrich what you are writing in English. Right. So next we are going to. Yes.
He's not saying his name. He's the best poet too.
So it's not that I was being humble, I forgot. Right, so what, now we want to listen to some of our poets here who are here. We want to get their feedback on what they, whatever they listen to. So, to begin with, I want to invite a person who was, at times, I felt that she was more nervous than me. To bring more kids here and how she can do it, and she was pursuing people, and she was, she had a guest and she had him kicked him out this morning just because she wanted to come here. And she made many efforts, although she wasn't feeling well, but she made every effort to come here, and not just alone, but brought 2 participants with her. So, Zora, please come and give us your feedback regarding this.
Expecting to speak here. I'm just very proud of the fact that I did bring 2 very nice writers. And I have been unofficially part of Arbab-e-Qalam. I think they don't need to change the name, they just need to translate in the brackets, that's it. And that the name, because that will tell. And that's my suggestion. But I think that all their programs that I have attended ever, I have always felt enriched when I learned something or the other, regardless of what topic they chose, what speakers they chose. So that is a wonderful thing. So congratulations. And this initiative really touched my heart, very much so. Because I am a strong believer in mentorship, I think it should be two-way. So a bunch of people, students that I mentor, I owe where I am today because of my mentors. They helped me move forward. And one of the people that promoted me in the community, I have to acknowledge Munir Sami, because when I wrote my first poetry book, he was the one that overnight he took my book, he wrote the review and everything. And I also want to thank you, Faisal, for writing the review of my memoir. But I just want to encourage, I think it's so important for us to listen to the youngsters, because we can learn from, it's two-way mentorship, as I said. So I think that please continue to do these programs, please continue to participate, and for the young, I will say that find a mentor, or more than one, and for the older people, find some young people that you can mentor. And you will learn from them too, because there's so much you guys know, digital technology and all, that we don't know enough about, and so on, so we can learn, mutual learning. And congratulations again. I think a lot of you who read, there was so much variety in the subjects that you covered, so I think that it's enriching for us all. Thank you so much.
And again, we will need your feedback on the topic of how we can attract people from kids from the other cultural background as well. So, for example, if Arbab-e-Qalam is because it's not in English, and maybe those who are English speak from English-speaking backgrounds, maybe they cannot connect easily. So, like Zora very said, maybe we can just translate it for those kind of events. And Patrick can maybe give me a better advice, because maybe Patrick knows the audience and those readers and writers much better than me, because he's into it and has so much experience. So Patrick Mead is a poet, and his poetry book From One Realm to the Other. Did I say it right? From one realm to the other?
Sorry.
So your poetry book, I was talking about the poetry book.
Yeah.
So, So,
go ahead.
So we had a dialogue on English meets Urdu with Patrick last year. I think November, December timeframe, maybe December timeframe. And it was right here, and it was a great event. And we talked about so many different things. things which are similar, things which are different between English and Urdu poetry. So today I would like to hear how Patrick saw this event. If there is anything he wants to speak about, anything that any poem or any prose or anything, or in general. So I would like to invite you, sir, please come here. So Patrick Mead, we would like to welcome Patrick. Read your spider poem too? That would be great.
That's up to the thing, or the meadow is good. Okay, or the spider?
Anyone. Just to give them a taste of.
Okay, thank you. First of all, I am honored and wonderful to see everybody here, kind of sense, the younger people, and I think that's what you're trying to encourage here and open up. I was asked the last time I was here, it was around December 21st. And the gentleman out here says, how do we make the child a poet? And I thought, and it took me a long time to think this out. And I think it's maybe... We good? Okay, I'm good, sir. Okay. Thumbs up back there. Okay. So I was here, and I thank you for that invitation back in December, and it was full crowd like we have here. And the gentleman asked, he said, how do we help or make a child become a poet? And I actually struggled with that, and I thought, days, even weeks, I think we have to turn the poet into the child. I think that's where you have to go, and our seeds are within us. And it's really admirable and interesting to see how many people are here today, young people, wanting to get up and put their thoughts out there. Whether it be in the beginning, like the dark alleyways that we opened up with, and I'm just going to touch on a couple, and how we to celebrate life, or the fireflies, and the magnificence of that, compared to the ocean that one was speaking of, right? Everything is a poem, but how do we go in and become that? And you got to jump into the water to know what water is like. And lots of us do not jump into the water. Hesitant, uncertainty, culture, programmed, saying, hey, don't be that way. That's their religion, that's their voice, that's their culture. Don't go there. A couple of poets touched on this, which I thought was really important. We're all in this together. We all are poets, we all are children, we all are people, we all are one. You spoke of Gaza and Palestine and such, and what's going on over there. Our hearts have to go and pick them up and help them. We have to figure this out. Even though, yes, I may write poetry, these words, and you've spoken some of this today, have been said 1,000 years ago, like, why can't we get this together? The young man who spoke about the grief in Gaza, that's been spoken on many levels in many different countries over the years, via poetry, via song, via dance, via persecution. So this is why it's important today. We know what's going on down south. Somebody wants to come take our country, and you've had your own concerns in Pakistan, and conflicts, other conflicts around the world. We as people, especially the young people, you guys and young ladies and all, this is where you have to go. Now, but yet, this has been said in 1939, 1938, fascism and all, Nazism. But why do we keep repeating that? And that's what we have. Whether you be a poet, not, we have to figure out, how do we come together? We shouldn't be here crying for Gaza, or the floods, or in Sudan. In Sudan, like five famines on the go. It's like 5 provinces of Canada struggling, starving. I cry, you cry. We have to figure out that. This here's a beautiful moment to try to express some of that. The little one over there giving applause, about 3 or 4 years old. He's being energized with goodness, because goodness is here. But we got to figure out how to put that. I spoke to a gentleman out here who says they work for a number of groups around the world, NGOs and such. We have to figure out how to sew the fabric together. But I was really touched and taken with the energy, and especially to get up here. It's not easy to come up and say, this is how I feel, this is how I cry. We have to go forward, and it's up to you. So I'll cut it short here, but it's a beautiful moment. I am honored to be here. But I have 2 little grandkids, and I phoned them the day before coming over. One's 8, one's 12. I said, guys, Poppy is going to go and speak to some young people and others and such about poetry. What do you think of poetry? Do you have anything to say? What is it all about? And the youngest boy at 8, he said, Poppy, it's about words. Words are massive. And it's also going to turn into love and hugs and warmth, not hatred. Kindness, gentleness, so that's what we have. So that's what I just want to cover on. You ladies and young men, you're covered on lots of the pain out there, the bewilderment, the uncertainties, going to school, going to university, being a new Canadian, racism, closed eyes. That's my kind of plea or call today. That's what a poem should do, is make you stand up. Lots of poets got thrown in jail and beyond by saying these kinds of words by you guys and ladies that are speaking today. I'm going to do a poem called A Spider. I run, so I was going out one morning, I saw a little web floating in the air, a little string from here to here, about 2 plants, from one plant to the other. And it was cold, rainy, and windy. And I said, where are you going? What's your life all about? Why are you in turmoil? And where are you off to? And as I ran, this poem came to be. The Spider. Fragile art caught in a vacant sky. I must move out from the home port, but to where? And what is this whisper that comes from within, that wishes, that bellows again and again? What's out there? What's on the other side? And if I go, will they accept me? Will I fit in? Or if I'm caught in the morning rains and listen to that wind howl. Besides, I only have 7 legs. Still, I must go. Do I know to where I am going? Am I even halfway to a destination unknown? Maybe I should turn back again. No. Does it matter to where I am going? Does it matter how far I have gone? For I have decided not to stay in this web, and I have decided not to bury my head, for I am a spider, and the spider must spy, and I am a spider, and the spider must spin. Does it matter if I get blown away in that wind? No, for I am a spider, and I will cast away again and again and again. Thank you. Thank you for all you young people spoken. You are the spider, and you're speaking for the world.
Thank you so much, Patrick. So now I know that it was probably. Can you hear me?
No, it's off.
So it goes off automatically. That's what's happening. So I think now we figured out at the end of the program. Anyway, learning, right? So thank you so much, Patrick. It was great to hear you. And in the end, I would like to. So we have another friend who is always very helpful to us in many ways. Throughout our journey, and since we started the dialogues in the GTA under Arbab-e-Qalam, Canada, Munir Sami Saab has been very helpful to us, and he has been giving us, of course, advices, and he donated books also that we put sometimes in the during our program for people to buy, and that is donate it to any organization who is present here. So Munir Sami Sahab is he's running your writers forum for a very long time. It's a very old, I forgot how many years the writers forum has been here for decades, right? So Munir Sami Sahab has been I forgot the exact designation, but he is also running the Progressive Writers Association here in Canada. So I would like to invite Munir Sami Sahab to come and say a few words.
Yes, my name is Munir, and so much around me, forget it. I want to make a very special statement from my heart. We have been doing events in Canada for the last 42 years, I for the last 32 years, under various organizations, from lower level to the highest level of Canadian literature. I tell you with all honesty that this particular event today is the most historic event that beats everything that has been done in the past by us. I'm known not to be a praiser of people. It's an honest truth because I can vouch for it. Because I've worked from grassroots to Pan Canada with major authors. We have worked with the publishers in Canada. It is exceptional. I have a few suggestions. One is an announcement. I want to make an announcement of establishing some prizes for your future events.
Mike is.
Hello, Mike. Hello, Mike. Hello. I'll try to be loud. It's better now. So anyway, what I'm offering is a prize to you, Faisal, for your future events of 3 prizes, ranging from $100 to $500. So 3 best poets that you select among yourself, work out how you do it. It will be a PWA prize given to Arbab-e-Qalam. So this is your prize. So that is one. The other is, this is an exceptional event for you and country. What we want to tell the parents who are here, when we left our country, we came to the most exceptional country, and I'm not saying it to say, oh, Canada, kind of a song or anything. So this mic goes on, so I'll be loud. I'm quite loud enough. Okay? So basically, what I'm going to say, this is a country of exception. Here, when I came, my son was like 5 years old. He wrote a story of how the seal got its whiskers. He was like 5 or 6 years old. His principal took the story, bound it in a book, which is still in the school library. This is the country, this is the people that you work with, so exceptional, so nurturing. If you're writing poetry in Pakistan, at this age, nobody will listen to you. There will nobody be even willing to allow you to read poetry in schools and colleges, and even today, this is exceptional. Take advantage of this. What we do here, and another suggestion is, try to somehow collect this poetry, put it on a website if you can. You can do it very easily. Publish it, because they will be very happy to see their names published, poetry somewhere. It will come into the eyes of others. Like for example, when I have seen in the past some exceptional, Zora was mentioning, I didn't do much for her, but I have seen multiple times when authors have come to us, we want to publish what we have written. And I'm proud to say that at least I've been helping at least 4 people whose books have been published in Canada, with the highest possible publisher that are possible. Publishing in Canada is a glass ceiling, okay? You can't easily break it, but there are opportunities, there are people who will listen to you. So keep reading, keep coming to these kind of events. It's exceptional, and we will not go into do an Urdu session like this. There's no more. Urdu is very funny. When I used to go to poetry, I'm a shair or a poet. So I was, my young son will see me, oh, Papa, Mummy, Papa is going to the wah-wah business, because poetry is only wah-wah happens, right? It doesn't happen wah-wah. Some of you may relate to that. So it's a waste of time for us to go and find a young poet writing in Urdu. Write in whichever language you do, French, English, whichever you have in Canada. Try to publish it. Come and read, and you will be noticed. Some of you will definitely be noticed, and some of your good work will be picked up and be published, and we'll be here to help you. That's all I can say. So prizes and the publication and the website. If you could please.
Munir bhai, prizes ka pehle bata do to hum bhi padte.
As I told you, I saw history being made, right? So I got moved. So what I'm saying is this: from now on, Javed Hashmi, and also tap him. He's a great prize donor. So Javed Hashmi will also contribute. Shahid Hashmi sir. so also ask him to contribute. We can all chip together and make it a success through you. And what I'm saying, Faisal, not on your face or team's face, these guys are leading forward where we are leaving behind. Our time is over. This is their time. They will carry it on, and we'll help them and support them. That's our promise.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Mani Saab. It's so uplifting. We are so encouraged. Thank you so much for all your kind words, and the offer of the prize is great. So inshallah we'll do that. We'll talk about it. We'll work with. Shahid Ashmi Saab actually, he also mentioned that in the past he tried to do this thing, and he's always so willing to do it. And he encouraged us when we announced this thing. So we'll talk to Shahid Saab, we'll talk to Mani Saab, and we'll see how we can do something where we can also give prizes to the participants in future. So for the participants, again, now you guys have more work to do. Now, first thing was I told you for the October 5th, you have to tell me. Number two, you have to tell me if you want to work with us in the organization, the youth part of it. Let's say, let me just call something out as a young Arbab-e-Qalam, Arbab-e-Qalam youth thing, or anything. So if you guys want to, and it's not going to disturb your studies. We will do things in a way where you don't have to, compromise on your studies. So we can work together. So if you want to be part of that, please let us know. And third thing, if you are okay with publishing whatever you read today, if you're okay with publishing that, send it to me in writing. Right? So we will, inshallah, see how we can put it on a website or somewhere where it's published in a way where it's acknowledged. So we'll do that, and that would be, of course, our pleasure. And again, thank you so much, everybody who is here. Thanks to everyone who participated. Thanks to everyone who came here to listen, to encourage. And next time we are going to have, next month, I think October 19th, we are going to have a mushaira here. So please keep coming, because if you guys keep coming, we will have more and more events in Ajax, because in Miss Saga you have a community who is very developed. So if we do a mushaira over there, so many people come over there. Here we don't know. So if you guys come here more, we will have more literary events. Okay, thank you so much.